Hi and welcome to the Monday Live. We are back into another month, December. And it's pretty excited in our household. You can see a bit of tinsel behind me. You might even see Alfie in a Santa hat just about. But it's Alfie's birthday as well in December, you see. So it's, yeah, young lad gets pretty excited. He was on the way I took him to school this morning. And yeah, 6 days, he says. 6 days, wow. Till the first presents of December. There you go. Delivery just arriving. So what are we talking about? Well, we're moving on to game tries and minors. We actually did game tries and majors, I think, this time last year. So game tries and minors, we've looked at that in various guises, but we extended in various directions. I mean, basically talking about minor suit fits and how we try for game. Today I'll just take a little excerpt as usual from the beginning of the seminar, so if you've not seen the big seminar you'll get a repeat as it were, or when you look at it later. But hopefully remember you can log on and see that big seminar on the main site. On Fridays we are defending doubled contracts, having fun with them so far. We've just moved on to the part scores. We had been defending one no trump doubled. We are looking to get our 800s and 1100s, and we are going to take that topic into double annui as well. So that'll keep us busy. Pretty normal this week. Next week, slight change. We are 9 o'clock on Monday, if that's okay. Remember, you don't have to catch us live. You can always look at the replay. Why am I at 9 o'clock? Well, I'm off to the old barn, or no, sorry, it's called the barn now. I keep forgetting. The barn. No, something like that. Because it used to be the oldie barn, I think. But it is the barn, I think, now. But yes, I'm doing the last event of my pre-Christmas up in Lincolnshire near Grantham. So it makes sense to be able to fit that in, then head off to Grantham for the Monday to Wednesday. Then I come back on Wednesday. But that's ahead of us. That's next week. We'll still be on topic. What else is going on? Well, the same old usual. I mean, obviously it's very much the festive period, isn't it? As you can see there. And we are thinking about Christmas, Twixmas and New Year, and then the reboot. There's 4 different events there. Twixmas is that period between 27th and the 29th of December. It's quite a nice one, and you probably by that time will feel like sacrificing something, but we're going to be talking about the classic sacrifices in bridge, which is quite a fun topic to have at that point. Meanwhile, of course, you've got all the holidays, and there are cruises of all sorts. I've got to say, can't see any of mine on there, but that's another matter. And of course, all the holidays. So do look at those. We've obviously launched a range of holidays. Our Tenerife is sold out, but we've got our usual suspects in a way: Croatia, Mallorca. Portugal, of course, a new one, but really enjoyed it last year. So no, not last year, this year. So look at that. And of course, in October, I am going to Greece for a 5-star event, which is exciting too. Usual things. We've got the 5-level decision coming up. Now we'll finish with the bidding quiz. So lots of fun to be had. And on that topic, let's nip over to the 5-level decision now. There you go. Those of you on Friday will have already seen this hangover. I mention it now, then come back to it after the seminar. Nice and simple auction. 1 diamond, 2 diamonds, 5 diamonds. And so North putting the pressure on. Putting the pressure on. North, South, non-vulnerable. You are vulnerable. Your partner's 2 diamonds is a Michael's Cubid. Okay, Michael's Cubid showing 5-5 in both majors. So they have bid 5 diamonds. What do you bid? Tricky, isn't it? Tricky, because it's a 5-level decision. Clever by North in many ways. He's made us make the decision early, and we'll discuss that after the little seminar that we have. So there is your 5-level decision. So let's nip over to the topic. And our new topic, of course, is game tries in the minors. So we've touched on this topic quite a lot. It is an important one. And in fact, we will also touch on the idea of overcalls in the minors and how we might get to games there as well. No trump game tries are completely different to any other game tries you have. Basically because we are desperate to be in 3 no trumps rather than clubs and diamonds. So your minor suit game tries are basically no trump game tries. Almost always. It's very rare that we just have a basic kind of 1 club, 3 clubs, 4 clubs. Do you think we can make game, partner? Okay, it's almost always going to be trying for no trumps first. And this will be even if you've got a singleton in both hands, because if you've got good cover in both of those suits in the other hand, 3 no trumps is going to score you more points. And we've seen how difficult it can be to get to a slam because you're so desperate to be in no trumps. So that's what we're going to see today. We're going to look at how we get to 3 no trumps. There is also a tricky element though, and we'll discuss that as well today, which is of course how many high card points do you need for a minor suit game. So sometimes we can assume we are making game and then change our mind in the middle of the auction. Because of course if we don't find a stopper, we can't play in 3 no trumps, and suddenly we then realise we need 28 points to make game. And we always assume it's just 25, don't we? And that's where it gets tricky. Okay, so when you agree a minor suit, both players should think no trumps, and that's crucial. Okay, so again, I'm just taking the start of the seminar that I've got here. So when you agree a minor suit, both of you, and even every so often you get a bad score because you do it. You bid 3 no trumps, go 1 off, and you should be in 3 clubs, 3 diamonds, or even 5 clubs. But you're desperate to be, and in the long run, believe you me, it will pay off. And this is particularly obviously in the pairs game, hugely different to the major suits. Okay, so when you've agreed a minor, i.e. both players have bid the minor, or somehow you've bid them. I suppose you might bid the opponent's suit if there's opponents bidding. Okay, but when both players have bid a minor, we start thinking no trumps. And what it means is, to be honest, deliberately in the auction, in the early auction, if one of you bids a minor, we always respond with a major if we've got one. So if you've actually chosen to support a minor, you've basically said, partner, we're not playing in a major. Does that make sense? And what this means is you can focus on the choice of diamonds, the minor or 3 no trumps. And so we use a new suit to show a no trump try, i.e. I've got a stopper. That is important because usually majors are serious bids. Once you've agreed a minor, a major is showing a stopper and not suggesting playing in the major, and that's key. If you miss out a suit, you're denying a stopper. So in that sense, it works quite similarly to Q bidding, funnily enough, but it's not the same. Okay, here we're thinking no trumps. We're not necessarily showing any more strength than the 25, 26 points or something like that. Okay, here we go. Here's a nice and simple hand. As I say in this seminar, because I teach inverted minors quite a bit, I usually have to refer to what we're playing. So here we're playing normal bridge, shall we say, no inverted minors at all. So we're going to just have the auction start 1 club, 2 clubs. If it was an inverted minor, you would probably start 1 club, 3 clubs here. But you would have a very similar auction, because once the minor is agreed, you can see. I mean, look at that. Look at the West hand, 19 points. You might choose 3 no trumps, and that's fine. The only problem is partner might put the ace jack of diamonds down there instead of the ace jack of hearts. But the gamble might pay off. They might lead a spade. Okay, they won't always hit your weakest suits, so perhaps a gamble is okay. But instead of gambling, you could try bidding it naturally. Is naturally the right word there? Sort of, I think, because if you've a bid clubs, it's not unreasonable to think that two diamonds is just saying I've got something in diamonds. That seems relatively natural. As it happens, you've got 4 of them. You don't have to have 4. Okay, so 2 diamonds says I've got something in diamonds. 2 hearts says I've got something in hearts. And 3 no trumps says thank you very much. Because all I want to know, partner, is that you've got something in hearts. You need a bit more than something here. It's not a perfect hand. I mean, don't get me wrong. A heart lead to the 9 and 10, and then a diamond and a spade back, and things could get quite rough for you. Tim's asking, does two diamonds is not a reverse in this auction. However, it does show a strong hand. So in fact, it probably shows similar strength, Tim, because you're saying, I think there's a chance for game. And if partner's only shown 6 points and you think there's a chance for game, as it happens, I think the minimum you could be here is 17, really. So ironically, the 2 diamond bid would show reversing values. But once you've agreed a suit, all bids are different. It's a bit like 1 club, 1 no trump. It's not quite like 1 no trump here. But when there's limit bids or agreement of a suit, everything changes. But obviously, when the bidding goes 1 club, 2 clubs, and 2 clubs is showing 6 to 9 points, for West to bid again, West has to have a pretty strong hand. So ironically here, 2 diamonds is showing, at least I would have said, a very good 16 or normal 17. The idea is that the auction could have gone 1 club, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 2 no trumps. And for me, that would show about 16, 17 be inviting to game. Whereas here, the 3 no trump bid is obviously on 90. Okay, another simple auction here, playing normal minors again. If you were playing inverted minors, it would go 1 diamond, 2 diamonds here. But here goes 1 diamond, 3 diamonds, just playing normal minors. So 3 diamonds is a good bid. It shows 11 points. Around 11 points, and obviously support for diamonds. It does deny a major suit. Okay, so if East had 4 spades there, he would have bid 1 spade. So 1 diamond, 3 diamonds, clearly again with 16 points, expecting 11, you're going to try for game. So you're worried about the heart suit. So you bid 3 spades. Partner, I have a stopper in spades. This is not a cue bid. It is showing a stopper, so it could just as easily have been Queen, Jack, and a small spade. So, what does East bid? Well, for me, 3 spades has missed out hearts. So, as far as I'm concerned, West doesn't have a heart stopper. So, looking at a doubleton heart, all I can do is bid 4 diamonds. Okay, partner, I don't have a heart stopper, sorry. With 5 diamonds in his hand and 16 points, for me that's worth about 17 with the 5th diamond, so I think it's reasonable now to bid to 5 diamonds. You won't always make 5 diamonds, but you think you've got around the 28 points. So you're evaluating your hand as 17, your partner's shown about 11, so I think it's reasonable to try 5 diamonds. So there we've seen 2 hands, 1 with a stopper and 1 without. Okay, it's easy enough to bid to 5 diamonds with these hands, but you always want to try for no trumps. If I bid 5 diamonds without trying for no trumps here, I would be worried that that I've got a heart stopper in partner's hand. As you can see here, there's 11 tricks off top. So if you did have a heart stopper, you'd want to be in 3 no trumps. Okay, 1 more before we look at the actual. So these are game tries. But there's also going to be an element of when we haven't agreed the suit, are we sure we can make game? So we'll look at that in a moment. Okay, let's open a club. This time 1 diamond response, nice and simple. And surely that is just a simple raise to 2 diamonds. You don't want to be going any higher than that. Clearly a minimum opening hand with 7 losers. So it goes a club, a diamond, 2 diamonds. East has 14 points, so wants to try for game, and 3 no trumps looks normal. Clearly there is no spade stopper there, and given that West has shown 2 suits already, there is a big chance that partner won't have much in spades. You know, you're expecting maybe 9 cards in the minors. He could easily have a doubleton or a singleton spade, and you're going to look silly if you gamble on 3 no trumps. So instead, you show your stopper. So remember, we're always showing here, as I discuss in the big seminar, towards the end of a bidding sequence where you've maybe shown 3 suits, then the focus is only on 1 suit and everything changes. Or if your opponent's bid, you tend to focus on stopping the opponent's suit. Okay, in these auctions here though, we are basically bidding naturally. So we've bid clubs and diamonds. My 2 hearts says I've got hearts covered, partner. You can work out what I need. Okay, you can work out what I need. Okay, and clearly West has what we need. He has a spade stopper. So here, 2 no trumps is surely the most simple bid, partner. I've got a spade stopper. I've got nothing extra. I am as minimum as I could be. I've basically got the weak no trump strength. But of course, East doesn't care. As long as you've got a spade stopper, partner, I know we can make our game. And there are 9 tricks there, aren't there, off the top? 5 diamonds, ace, king, queen of hearts, and ace of clubs. And on the normal spade lead, you're likely to make a spade as well, and that's the crucial thing here. As it happens, you know, 3 no trumps plus 1 outscores 5 diamonds. If it could make, it might not make here. You may well lose the ace, king of spades and a club in 5 diamonds. So remember, someone mentioning the barrier there, we were talking about that. Don't forget, if you've agreed a suit, barriers are slightly different. If you've agreed a suit, you tend to move away. Okay, no trump game tries. Okay, we're sticking with it. Let's have a look. How many points for a minor suit game? How many points for a minor suit game? And that it's crucial to remember this, because it's very easy to think we've got game on, find no trumps isn't making because you haven't got a stopper, and then think, oh dear, what do we do now? So the point is, you need 28. It's 5, it's the 5 level. Now, this is easy enough if you've got distribution. The problem is, a lot of the hands we've been looking at where you try for a no trump game is you're relatively flat, and if both hands happen to be flat, so I mean clearly with doubletons but not singletons, you will find you need about 28 high card points. So you've evaluated that game is on because you've got 25 or 26. You then discover you haven't got a stopper in one of the suits. You then have to re-evaluate between you to see if you think you've got 28. Wow. Now, we discussed earlier in the year, in most minor suit auctions, 4 of a minor should be forcing. However, okay, if you've already agreed the minor by the 3 level, you've got plenty of other strong bids available. So 1 diamond, 3 diamonds, have a little chat, 4 diamonds, okay, partner, what do you think? Okay, or 1 diamond, 2 diamonds, find out we haven't got a stopper, 3 diamonds, 4 diamonds, inviting game, that kind of thing. Okay, so when 3 no trumps is no good, you've still got to ask yourself, can you make game? And with no singletons and lack of aces, you can find you go too high. Because remember, imagine you've got, even with 28 points, you could be missing 3 aces. So it can be quite nasty. However, if I'm honest, trying for 3 no trumps is so important that if you lose a little bit of focus and end up in 5 diamonds going 1 off, you can be forgiven. Okay, let's have a look at this. 1 club. 1 diamond from you, nice hand, 13 points. So this is what's tricky, okay. You know what's going to happen. Your partner's going to support diamonds. You know that already. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll even show you. So once your partner opens the bidding, you expect to be in game. You've got 13 high card points. It goes a club, a diamond, 2 diamonds. You know, you could bid 3 no trumps, and again, 3 no trumps may well make. But you've got to bear in mind that when your partner shows two suits, clearly your partner is going to be likely to be short in hearts and spades. And clearly if he's got a singleton or doubleton in hearts, three no trumps is going to be not where you want to be. So for me here, I'm going to make a game try, two spades. Partner, I've got spades covered. If partner bids three diamonds, well, I'll tell you what, let's bid it. Let's bid the two spades. Okay, so we're thinking no trumps, okay, but our hearts are weak. So we bid two spades, okay, and then we get three diamonds, okay. So we've got a minor suit fit. We want to play in no trumps. Our two spade bid denies a heart stopper. Partner knows what we need from him, but he bids three diamonds. This is hard. Because suddenly, okay, suddenly we are not sure of game anymore. Someone asking if two spades is alertable. Generally, if you're showing something, because you've agreed a suit already, it is not alertable. It is very subtle though, because, and this is the problem with the alerting rules, is because it doesn't strictly promise a three-card suit. If I had ace-king doubleton there, I would bid two spades. So, but I think generally, if the bid is showing something, remember, when you've agreed a suit, everybody knows nothing is normal anymore. So, because two spades is showing something in spades, it isn't necessarily alertable. Okay, it's showing sort of strength. Alan's got a thought here. Could you bid three hearts to show half a stopper? I have to say, because you know your partner could have queen doubleton, that is true, and you might find yourself finding a three no trump contract here. I'd be more prone to wanting to work out if I can make five diamonds or not. But three hearts is not unreasonable. I don't mind that. Three hearts would suggest either queen doubleton or jack to three. The idea is, or even 4 to the 10, a holding where you feel, look, I've got something in hearts, partner. Well, you wouldn't have 4 to the 10, you'd have responded, no, you might do. You know, a holding where you might think, look, there's still a chance of no trumps if you've got something, partner. So I suppose if you had 4 to the 10 in this auction and your partner had 3 small, you could regard that between you as a stopper. But maybe a more realistic bid is 4 diamonds, which basically says, look, partner, I'm not sure game is on. You've agreed the suit. Clearly any other bid here is forcing 3 hearts, 3 spades, whatever it is. So 4 diamonds would just simply say, look, partner, we've agreed diamonds. I thought we had game on, but actually I need a bit more from you, because if you've got a flattish 12 count, so if you're 5, 4, 2, 2 here, I think we're probably 4 diamonds is high enough. Yeah, so it's tricky. No trumps are not on. Could you make in diamonds? The problem is, as I say, if your partner's just got a 12 or 13 count, you're probably going to lose too many tricks. So I think just invite him to game. I don't mind 3 hearts. As I say, if it goes 3 hearts and 4 diamonds, though, you're a bit stuck. I think 3 hearts is probably going to force you to game in this auction. So you, maybe being more realistic and bidding 4 diamonds is better. So let's give partner 2 different types of hands. Here's one where he's got the singleton and the tripleton, and suddenly, you know, once you've agreed diamonds, this hand is rather nice, isn't it? Okay, and so clearly you are non-minimum. You have 12 points in a singleton, so here you feel you can go for game comfortably. In fact, I don't even mind a 4 heart bid on the way here, but the key is that singleton means you have ample points. You're much better than a minimum hand. As I say, I mean, it's not completely unreasonable to throw a 4 heart cubit in the auction. As it happens here, you know, slam isn't anywhere near, well, sorry, clearly slam is near. You're going to make 11 tricks, but you've got a club loser and a heart loser. But the reason you make the contract is because of the singleton heart here. If that was a doubleton heart, I think you can see that 4 diamonds is high enough. Very hard though to be accurate when you already thought you were in a game. So they're just 25 high card points between you, but the singleton allows you to get there. If I flip that to that, now I know it's a ropey bid, opening bid, but it's 12 high card points, and for me it's normal to open the bidding. I don't like a 1 no trump when I've got 2 relatively weak doubletons. I mean, here I would open a club and know that I was often going to have to rebid 2 clubs, but this auction would go 1 club, 1 diamond, 2 diamonds, 2 spades, 3 diamonds, 4 diamonds, and West could pass that. But it, you know, it's tricky. I mean, don't get me wrong, if they fail to lead hearts, I would have thought it looks reasonably obvious to lead hearts, but if they fail to lead hearts, then you might scrape home in 5 diamonds, but you should lose, I would have thought, 2 hearts and a club pretty much most of the time. When you have an auction like this, it's a good auction. You're trying to find 3 no trumps. Unfortunately, you do have to tell your opponents that you don't have a heart stopper. So if I was on lead here with the ace of hearts, maybe ace queen even, I would still be tempted to lead the ace because I don't think they've got the king. If they had the king, one of them would have bid 3 no trumps. So if East had the king of hearts as well as his ace king of spades, he'd just bid 3 no trumps. And the king doubleton is a good enough stopper. So if West had king doubleton here, that would be a good 3 no trump bid. You know, so if you trust your opponent's auction, you could just about stop in 4 diamonds here. But it's not easy, I have to say, to feel yourself going towards a game and then have to undo that halfway through the auction. But, you know, it's something to bear in mind. They're not massively common auctions because, of course, majors come into these auctions so quickly. Overcalls from your opponents, for example, and those kind of things. Okay. So that was our topic, and we're going to spend the month leading up to Christmas talking about it. Comes up a lot. Being greedy in no trumps is worth it. We're going to do it on a lot of overcalling hands as well, and I quite like looking at those. And of course, it'll often depend on the quality of your overcalling. So for me, a vulnerable 2-level overcall in a minor is a serious bid, and would almost vulnerable 2-level minor 6-card suit. I've seen some of the overcalls that some of you make, and that wouldn't necessarily stick to my level of quality for a 2-level vulnerable minor suit overcall. And the reason why experts like to have them up to scratch are for 2 reasons. One, if you get doubled, you've got a good enough suit to hopefully withstand the barrage if you end up in 2 clubs doubled. But more importantly is so that responder with a fitting high card in the minor can have a go at 3 no trumps. And again, you end up with this idea of trying for game with a minor suit fit. Okay, let's go back to the 5-level decision. So I think 5-level decisions, when you're vulnerable and they're not, are not easy. However, this in a way requires a partnership understanding. Yes and no. I think everybody should be aware of the vulnerability here. And West has come in with a 5-5 hand. It should always be 5-5. And when you are vulnerable against not, you are very rarely aiming to go down deliberately. Okay, because at this vulnerability, you can only afford to go 1 down doubled. If you go 2 down doubled, you lose to their game. 2 down doubled vulnerable is 500, and their game is worth just 400. So you should always have good quality suits, whether you're opening a weak 2, whether you're doing a Michael's cubid, whether you're doing the unusual 2 no trumps, whatever it is, you should always have quality suits. And for me, on a hand like this, knowing my partner's got at least 10 cards in the majors. Now, it's true that both opponents have bid diamonds in a big way, but you'd still feel that with 5 clubs and a singleton diamond in your hand, it's not unreasonable to hope that your partner might have 2 diamonds and a singleton club. Remember, he's only got 3 cards in the minors. And if he does, you could easily imagine your partner having ace to 5, doubleton, singleton. And if he has, you're actually going to make 11 tricks. Okay, and you know, ace to 5 isn't a huge amount to ask about. For me, it's the King of Hearts who is a gorgeous card. If that King of Hearts is in clubs instead, maybe you've got a doubleton, small doubleton heart and the King of Clubs. Now, I straight away I'm thinking there's probably 3 losers. Here though, I think there's a fair chance that you might actually make 5 spades. If you're going off, it's likely to go only 1 off. Bear in mind, North's huge jump to 5 diamonds early in an auction could easily be based on a void in spades. Well, if North has a void in spades, remember we've got 10 spades, that's what I mean. So one of them's got a singleton at least, but it could be a void. And if it is a void in spades, are you confident you're getting 5 diamonds down? So there'll be times I think that 5 diamonds makes. I think 5 spades is going to make a lot of the time. So I am going to put a 5 spade bid down in the auction there. Let's have a look at the hands there and see what you think. So I think your partner should have a quality bid hand for this bid. You know, and even this hand is, well, it's a respectable hand. It should be competitive, but it should have quality in the suits. Here, as you can see, it's a very comfortable making game. And as it happens, your opponents will go off in 5 diamonds, just 1 off. Would North bid 6 diamonds here? Clearly it works on the hand. I love the 5 diamond bid actually. When I let Q Plus bid it, they just bid 4 diamonds on it, which is possibly the right bid in mathematically it might feel, but I think bidding 5 diamonds and putting the pressure on East is important in these kind of auctions. I think you've made East guess. You don't know whether East has guessed correctly. So 6 diamonds, it works on this hand. As I say, 6 diamonds will get doubled and you're only likely to lose the 3 tricks that you've got there. You know, the trumps are drawn and all you lose are the 3 major suit tricks, the Ace, King of Hearts and the Ace of Spades. So that 2 off, 6 diamonds 2 off is only 300 as opposed to 650. So these hands are huge, and whether you're playing teams or pairs, they're hard. I mean, playing teams, these are big swings here. They are big swings. But the important thing is, I think East, that King of Hearts for me, it's a lovely card, isn't it? It really is. You know, and as soon as dummy comes down, you think, yep, great. I mean, I'm in 5 spades making kind of thing, as long as they don't take her off. So, well, I hope you enjoyed that one. That's a lot of bidding early on. 5 diamonds is a great bid from North. Puts the pressure on. As a partnership, it's a great thing to discuss. Vulnerable against not, how do you bid? Non-vulnerable against vulnerable, how do you bid? So if you change the vulnerability around on that particular hand, I could be bidding on anything. Well, not anything, but I'm quite aggressive. If I've got 5-5, I'll always have the lengths. So important. If I've got to be 5-5 because that's the goodness of those 2 levels. Bid 5-5 or more, I should say. It can be 5-6. But if I'm 5-5 and not particularly good suits, if I'm non-vulnerable against vulnerable, I might still do it. But vulnerable against non-vulnerable, my quality of suits will be good. Trust me, partner. Okay. All right. What have we got to finish? We have our bidding quiz, and we've been on a theme, haven't we? It goes 1 no trump by your left-hand opponent. Landy. No, it's 1 no trump from your partner. I'll get there in the end. Weak no trump from your partner. Landy from South, 2 clubs. Landy alerted, showing both majors. Okay, 1 no trump, 2 clubs, and we've been covering this in a way as a theme for the last 3 or 4 bidding quizzes. It's quite interesting, isn't it? When you look at it in a concentrated way, you see a number of different actions which you can take, and understanding which actions are right is interesting. So of course you can get the answer of that on the bidding website, both as a member and as a non-member. So please come and join us if you haven't done before. We'd love to have you. And all that it remains for me to say is have a lovely week. Don't forget, next Monday I'm on a little bit earlier. And do visit our website and think about some of these holidays and cruises, particularly as the nights close in. We can think about some lovely sunny days in the future. So thank you for your company, and see you again soon.